All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, David. David. Psst, psst, psst. David. All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Remy. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as one of your Board of Trustees members. And I'm happy to welcome you all of you on Zoom and in the sanctuary to Tahoma Unitarian Universalist congregation. Um, we started adding little notes to how we feel, I guess. Like I call it our joys and sorrows. Right now, mine would be we recently relocated a trans person across Mississippi to here, and she's successfully got a job. So she's working and kind of integrating into our society. But it's also kind of a sorrow because she had to flee the country or flee across the country to find safety. So it's a kind of weird feeling. Unitarian Universalists are a community of people who hold many beliefs, many origins, identities, sexualities, and genders. We uphold and celebrate the inherent dignity of every person, which means you are welcome here just the way you are. Love is the power that holds us together as we gather in community to seek life's deeper meaning and to celebrate the diversity of all living things. We are all growing with and learning from one another. If you're here from the first time, I bid you a special welcome. After the service, I'll probably be hanging out in this little area by the sound booth. If you have any questions, you can ask me, or basically anyone in the congregation is probably willing to answer some questions. Uh, I also encourage you to explore our website, tahomauu.com. At that website, you can sign up for our weekly e-news that includes a lot of information about the important things we do outside of congregation time and other volunteer opportunities and how you can participate. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you check out your order service, it has a list of all the events on the back. If you don't have one, after the service will be a great time to make some new friends who might have one that you can read, or you can get some at the big front table. Um, there's a bunch of stuff on there, so please check it out. You're also invited to join us at our social hour immediately after here. If you grab a red mug, people will come and speak to you. If you grab a normal white mug, people will probably still come and speak to you. Uh, if you're someone who would benefit from a large print hymnal or a hearing device, we have some in the back, in the sections back there. I think that's about it. Added extra sheets. We want to remind everyone that our services are available through Zoom and posted to YouTube, which means if you come up front, your image may appear on those venues. As we begin our service in this beautiful place called Tahoma by local indigenous tribes and nations, I acknowledge that we meet today on the land of the Coast Salish people, including the Puyallup tribal nation, land from which they were forcibly displaced. I honor the resiliency of indigenous people and stand with them as they continue to protect their culture, land, and water, and fight for their visibility, sovereignty, and very existence. Lastly, please set your electronic devices to worship mode. Let us exhale deeply and settle ourselves into this holy moment of sharing and receiving. Now let us join together in worship. You have an announcement, Dave? Is it something on the back of the order of service? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to give you the same treatment as everyone else. If it's on the back of the order service, you're done.
Thank you, Marianne. I'm Charlie. I'm your celebrant today. I'm currently using he, him pronouns. The opening words are from an anonymous source. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to this community, and to each other. Now I'd like to invite Debbie Ramsey up to light our chalice. She helps out around here quite a bit. Sometimes the coffee team, sometimes the auction team, sometimes the flea market team, sometimes cleanup, sometimes she's a board member. So if you please join me in the words that will magically appear on the screen. Apparently, she might need practice. Okay. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. Now, if you please join the resistance choir in the song that will also magically appear.
Come on in. We could even bring this over if you like. I don't know. Hello. We're the Singing Resistance. We're part of the Singing Resistance. This is a national movement that originally started through ceasefire caroling. This is a worldwide ceasefire caroling, and we sing songs of resistance that bring us together in community in the face of everything that's going on in the world and in our country today. And we want to invite you all to join us in a few different resistance songs today. We're going to sing 3 different songs throughout the service today. And our first one is We Sing Not Only for the World by Katie Sondag. It's got 3 parts. And we're gonna, they layer really nicely on top of one another. And so we're gonna just sing one part at a time and learn it together, and then we'll sing it all together. And you can pick whichever part you like the most. Whichever part fits your vocal range the most comfortably.
Ooh, I love they even have for us there too.
Oh, that is
On the
nice.
big screen.
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll start. Is that right pitch? That's good. Okay. All right, so here's the first part. We sing not only for the world that we want to create, but to create it here right now. We sing not only for the world. World that we want to create, but to create it here right now. And you can sing lower if you need to go lower. And the second part is coming together in defense of life, where all are loved and cared for. Coming together in defense of life, where all are loved and cared for. Coming together in defense of life, where all are loved and cared for. And then the last part. Be my beloved community. You can do that higher or lower depending on your register. Let's do it one more time, two more times together. Be my beloved community. Be my beloved community. Are we ready to try it layered?
Yeah, you guys can sing whatever.
Pick a
portion you
part.
want.
Which one are you on?
The first one.
You like the first one? Where do you want to start? Which one's the easiest?
The third. My beloved,
Okay.
yeah.
Could you help us with that? Thank you.
I've never done it.
I think that's why we all just decided to hold it.
See, you did that perfectly.
So you and I can do first part.
Okay.
Second part.
I can do the second.
Second part. Can you
Third
layer
part?
the third part? Okay.
Are they good at they know where to drop it in? I know where to drop it in.
Yeah, we've done it. We just sang it recently together. Yeah.
Okay.
So pick a part. You can follow us. We're going to be doing the first part. These two are going to be doing the second part. And Trish at the end is going to be doing our third part.
It's kind of like a round, but all at the same time.
It's a round, but it's layered. Yeah. So
We'll do it over and
No, don't
over
worry.
it's okay. We're going to do it several times. Jump in when you feel comfortable.
One of us in the mouth can sing. If you want.
All right. You ready? We sing not only for the world that we want to create, but to create it here right now. We sing
coming
not
together
only
in
for the world
defense of
that we want
life,
to
where
create,
all are
but to
loved
create it
and
here
cared
right now.
every week we take donations for the local food bank. And some of you might be sitting next to an item like a toothbrush or a can of food. If you could please hold those up, our young people get to join us in some social justice by collecting these things from you and bringing them up here to our little basket. All right. Oh, yeah, there's so much over here. Yeah. This takes a little bit longer during the summer because we have less students. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I would not complain if some of the young at heart maybe helped out. That's you. Yes. Good time to be hyper. Yes. This is just one of those small ways we can help our local community and teach our children how to help your local community and how to be a part of it and live out our values. Is that everything? Awesome. Good job, guys. Yeah. Okay. Well, now I'd like to invite everyone to come sit up here and listen to a story. Yeah, it's story time. Yes, that's a good description. Let's form a rainbow around me, please. Rainbow people, it's awesome. Well, and today our story is actually called Sewing the Rainbow. Yeah, Sewing the Rainbow. Oh, slide. Yeah. All right. And now it's time to sing the children out.
As you go, may your heart be at peace as you go, to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go, to nurture the spark of your precious life. Hold you in our love as you go.
Good morning, all. This is Scott. I'm the chat chaplain today, and here we have a moment to invite one another's generosity. There's a reading in the hymnal that says, "The offering is a sacrament of the free church. It is supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join with us." So you can follow those instructions on screen to provide however suits you. If you're in the sanctuary, you can also pay attention to the baskets coming around and note the baskets up front for trans relocation and safe parking. Thank you all.
please join me in the words on the screen. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls. Now, if we'll join the singing resistance for the second song.
This one's fun, yeah.
And some of us got to do a workshop with Melanie Timor in Olympia a couple months ago. She's amazing. They are amazing.
Yeah. And I've had people approach and ask about joining. If you're interested in joining us and singing with us, there is a QR code out in the hall on that table right there for our group, and you can just sign up through that. Thank you to our microphone technician. What's that?
I guess I'll stand towards this one.
Yeah, come sing with me over here. All right. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't you despair.
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up ahead.
The path is there.
The path is there.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared.
I know you're scared.
And I'm scared too.
And I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am.
Right next to you.
Right next to you.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Okay, thank you for your patience here. So my name's Lauren Erhardt, and my pronouns are they, them. I did write an entire sermon about joy, but I think I needed to do something different. And yesterday I wrote something instead about hope. So, as you all may know, Tacoma Pride Celebration was held yesterday at the beautiful Wright Park. Our congregation was represented there on essentially what was Church Row, right along I Street in the shadow of the hospital there. The air at our table, it was clear and it was filled with music with cheering and clapping, with the sounds of laughter and merriment. The sun shone brightly down on the crowd through the dappled shade of the 130-year-old trees in that arboretum. Folks from all walks of life go to Pride for all manner of reasons. Perhaps you go for representation. Perhaps for solidarity. Or maybe even just to party on a midsummer afternoon with your friends. In my own case, I go for all of the above reasons, but also because Pride gives me hope. Hope has long been and remains one of the most powerful and valuable tools humanity has ever placed in our toolbox. Wielded properly, it is the most formidable weapon ever devised against the depths of despair and the wretchedness of apathy. Hope is the tool that our kind fashioned to help us persevere through hardships and trials, through tribulations that few of us here could ever imagine. Hope gave our forebearers the strength to endure the darkest of nights, just as it can for us. We all have our senses and wits about us, and it is not hard to see the darkening skies and storm clouds that threaten to plunge this world into chaos. The news is saturated with renewals of conflict, with schools, churches, mosques, and synagogues being targeted, with truly mad decisions being made by avarice-addled politicians, and with headlines of increasing persecution from our own government. In the gathering gloom, hope is a light with which to see. Without hope, it becomes harder and harder to keep going until you finally wear down and just give up. But by hope, I want to be clear that I'm not talking about an irrational hope. Rather, I mean a proactive hope. An irrational hope is a coping mechanism that we hold on to when we're scared and overwhelmed. An irrational hope is wishing for the impossible, like having the oppressor voluntarily change their ways, or passively waiting for someone or something to act on your behalf rather than taking the action yourself. That is an irrational hope. A proactive hope comes from taking action and exercising our agency. It means taking steps that it takes to build a better tomorrow rather than just hoping that someone else will do it. Proactive hope is to believe that things will improve, not because of a wish or a prayer, but because you are participating in making that change happen. Proactive hope is no stranger to these walls of our beautiful sanctuary. Our Unitarian Universalist values are anchored on that bedrock. This faith tradition is built on proactive hope that the work of our congregations will build a more just and more loving future for the generations to come. As I walked around the Pride celebration at Wright Park yesterday, I reconnected with old friends, and I made some new ones. My spirits were lifted by the enormous turnout in that park and the defiance of the harmful rhetoric and used against my community. While I was greeting folks at our congregation's table, it gave me hope to see representatives of other faiths next to us here on Church Row sharing that same message of unity and love. It lifted my heart. It gave me so much hope to see the young families out there with their small children, to see our honored elders, and to see folks of all ages out in that warm sunshine together. That crowd was the proactive hope of tens of thousands of people showing in solidarity that we believe a future of compassion, love, and justice is possible if we show up and make it happen. Thank you.
Hi.
My name's Thomas. Everyone who's been around here for a while probably knows me. I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that's not so easy to talk about pride. So I'm going to start with my story. I came out in 1976 when I was 16 years old. And having been raised as a Unitarian Universalist, a church which has never condemned homosexuality, I had an advantage. My family was supportive of me, but I was still 16. There was no such thing as a gay straight alliance at my school. There was a young man who took his male date to the prom at a local high school, and that made the paper for days. The only place to meet other gay people was at a bar, and I was 16. Fortunately, I lived in LA. There was one underage bar. They only served non-alcoholic drinks. But it was a long way away, and I didn't get there very often. So it was a little bit lonely. Somebody asked me recently when my first Pride parade was when I was about 18, and it was in West Los Angeles. There were about 50 of us walking down the middle of the street, and there were no crowds on the side. And there was no festival. That was it. It was a statement. We are here. We are queer. Get used to it. That was also a period when we weren't sure who we were really. Lesbians and gay men did not want to talk to each other. They frequently insulted each other. Bisexuals were considered just somebody who was afraid to come out fully. Trans people did not exist. There was no understanding of the difference between sex and gender. I eventually wrote my bachelor's thesis incorporating that and had to explain the difference to my thesis advisor. That was a time when gay men were proud to announce the large number of partners they had. That was a time when I grew a beard to protect myself from predatory men, because, sort of hard to tell now, but I was a sweet young thing with blonde hair and blue eyes and bright red lips, and people wanted to take advantage of me. Harvey Milk became the first openly gay politician in America. He was a councilman in San Francisco, and he led a crusade against an anti-gay initiative in California at the time that would have made it illegal for homosexuals to teach. I used to love that one of the things he said as he went all over the state campaigning against this initiative. He used to say, if our teachers have such a strong influence on how we grow up and who we are, how come there aren't more nuns? Later, Harvey was assassinated, along with the mayor of San Francisco, by another city council member. On that night, thousands of people gathered in the Castro and carried candles down to City Hall and placed them on the steps of City Hall. Later, the man who killed them was given a 1-year sentence based upon the fact that he had been eating a lot of junk food. And they said that it affected his mentality. The gay population reacted to that too. They did what's called the White Night Riot. His name was Dan White. They came back to City Hall en masse, angered beyond belief. They tore the ornamental ironwork off of City Hall. They broke the windows. They tore up the asphalt on the street in front of City Hall and broke windows. They lit a line of police cars that were parked there on fire with a Molotov cocktail. And those riots went on throughout the night. Later, and I actually saw the letter from who became the mayor, Dianne Feinstein, a letter to Mr. White as he was about to be let out of jail. She said, "Do not come back to this city. I cannot protect you." He did come back. And to the great honor of the population there, he did not have violence done against him, but he was shunned. Everybody turned their back on him. He lost his family. He lost his business. Nobody would speak to him. He eventually committed suicide. Shortly before this period, I was still living in Los Angeles, and I had a friend who worked at the medical laboratory in UCLA. And she came home one day and she said, "Thomas, there are gay men dying of something here. You need to be careful." That was the beginning of the AIDS crisis. That was a time of enormous fear and loathing. We were told that this was our retribution for sinning. And at the same time, of course, it made us all think, is this really the retribution for doing something wrong? And there was the fear every time you sneezed that maybe you were going to die, because we didn't know what it was. We didn't know where it came from. I had a roommate in San Francisco who had some friends come to visit from Chicago, a couple. And on the airplane, one of them started coughing. A week later, his lover brought him home in a coffin. President Reagan would not speak the word AIDS, but it did good things for our community. It matured us. It brought us together. If you don't know, the reason that we have an L at the beginning of the alphabet soup is because lesbians became our caretakers. they volunteered to do laundry and cook food for those who just did not have the energy to do it anymore. I was at the Tacoma Art Museum a little while ago with a friend, admiring all the beautiful work, and reading the captions they have next to each piece about the piece and about the artist and their life. And I started noticing that there were an awful lot of artists who all died in the 80s. And it suddenly occurred to me, I'm standing in the middle of a memorial for the AIDS crisis. We're now living in another difficult time. Trump is making things very difficult for members of our community. The Supreme Court is looking at undoing same-sex marriage. There's anti-trans legislation in multiple states, and don't think that Washington is free from that. If you were at the Pride Festival, you may have noticed there was one booth which unfortunately has not been getting enough attention. There's a couple of initiatives that are going to be on our ballot in November. Initiative 001 and Initiative 638. Initiative 001 would force schools to out LGBT students to parents. They're presenting that as a parents' rights initiative. But you have to remember that if the children have not told their parents, there's probably a good reason. Those parents may be abusive. Those parents may beat or shun their children when they're told. Initiative 638 would require all girls to prove their sex in order to play sports. This is all girls. And while they can do an expensive blood test, the more likely thing is that they have to expose themselves to a doctor who will then write a note. Notice, this does not apply to boys. This is not only transphobic, it's misogynistic. And we need to keep this from happening. So, a lot of bad, scary stuff. But you know what? We're still here. The Pride Festival yesterday was wonderful. There were lots and lots and lots of people there, both people from the LGBTQ community and allies. We are not alone. It is not 50 people walking down the middle of the street with nobody there. It's much, much more. And we are resisting the activities of those who would tear us apart and tear us down for being who we are and for loving who we love. There are in this state non-discrimination laws for employment and housing based upon sexual orientation. We do currently have same-sex marriage, something that I never thought was going to happen in my life. HIV, I don't know if you've heard, but they don't want to use the word AIDS anymore because a lot of people who have HIV don't get AIDS. HIV is the sickness that when it reaches a certain point becomes AIDS. Not many people get AIDS anymore. We can treat it, people can live with it for decades and decades, basically leading a fairly normal life. We're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Now, if y'all join, oh, are we setting an intention? Strategic resistance. That's a great intention. All good stuff. Thank you. Let's join the singing resistance for the closing song.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can stand if you want to stand. Thank you, Lauren and Thomas. My partner and I were also at Pride yesterday, and it was a beautiful celebration, a beautiful event with so many amazing folks. You guys have a very robust community here. We're recent transplants from another state, so it was nice to experience Tacoma Pride for the first time. And hope was definitely what I felt walking through Pride yesterday, being able to just hold my wife's hand and not have it be an issue. And I do have a lot of hope. The singing resistance is something that gives me a lot of hope as well. There's a 5-lane superhighway of resistance. Pick your lane and be in it. We don't all have to be doing the same things. There's lots of different options. And singing is the one that we've chosen today. So my partner actually felt very strongly about closing with this song because it's that hope, that moment of, hey, it's okay, hold on, we're gonna get through this. And hanging on to that hope together. This is a song that we have sung many times now at the detention center, but it's very applicable to everyone who is being affected and repressed and harmed by the current administration in our country. So join us for Hold On by Heidi Wilson. Will you start us on this one? It's below my range and I do better on the high. So yeah, can you jump in with me? You've got this, I believe in you.
Hold on, hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Hold on, hold
hold that hope, hold that flame. Thank you so much for having us.
Our closing words, if I can find the one that I was looking at earlier. Yeah, let's show this one by Nancy Wood. Hold on to what is good, even if it is a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it is a tree which stands by itself. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Hold on to my hand, even when I have gone away from you. And now, if you'll join us in the closing blessing song that we sing to each other. Oh, the chalice. There's only one of me up here. Somebody needs to extinguish the chalice for me. There's usually another person here. If you join me in the words on the screen, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now we can sing the closing blessing song to each other.